my gosh, James!
We got a lawsuit on our hands.
Oh no! What this time? What are they harping on us about for being free-loving Americans? And they're giving us the boot. What's the dealio?
Well, I mean, we're suing someone for defamation and for cutting in. It's libel. It's all of this. It is cutting into our future profits. Exactly. I went and saw a little movie produced by one Blumhouse and another James Wan, and these assholes are in for one right now. It's Megan. Have you seen it?
I have not, but I know you're such a fan of college humor, so having to sue Blum is going to be pretty hard for you. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, neither Jake and Amir's last name is Blum. Sorry.
Oh, it's Blumenfield.
Fuck!
Bloomfield.
Right.
It's not. I was thinking Bloomingdale's. No, it's Bloomfield.
Bloomingdale's is where you go and check Amir Bloomfield dancing on stage naked except for a little bow tie.
Or maybe it's Blumfield. Why don't I Amir? Why can't it sounds bad coming out of my mouth?
I don't know, but apparently he's part of this conspiracy because he's distracting us from this terrible lawsuit we must enact.
Exactly. I go see Megan. Oh, it's a romp. It's a laugh and a half. It's also very, very, very sad because, it's all about like, how do you deal with survivor's guilt and trauma of loss? You don't. So I related quite a bit to that, which hampered on some of the humor. But we get to a scene in question where Megan hugs a dog too hard and it dies. We're taking these fucking assholes down. This is what people should be afraid of. She was dominating the owner by doing that, not doming the dog and putting it in its place, unless its place is 4 feet underground, 30 feet west.
I have never been so happy with a dog dying in a film. James, the Dominator is over.
No. Okay.
The story has ended. Turn the page. Big fucking, not Steely Dan.
Leonard Skinnerd.
No, it's like the guy who's not Bruce Springsteen, but he might as well be Bruce Springsteen.
Billy
you go
Joel.
off while I look up this guy who's not Billy Joel, but might as well be.
All right, Sean, I'd like you to say like, I've never been so happy for a dog's death ever in my life in film. I want you to say that when you have to deny your future children a brand new beautiful Bills jacket because you're like, well, didn't make that Dominator money I thought I was promised.
Well, first of all, hi, Nicole. Bye, Nicole.
Oh, wait. Oh, Nicole was here?
For a second.
I thought that was a cat scratching.
No, that was her coming in to nod her head and give a big thumbs up and approval, because if that's how I earn my starter jacket on the mental anguish blood of innocent puppies.
If there's no blood. Oh, you said mental blood.
Mental, yeah. The metaphorical blood. Like, there's no blood, I promise. We're just mentally torturing these dogs with a Dominator. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
There's only ever blood unless there's user error. It would be on the owners for not hooking that leg, not securing the padding brought to you by Casper, Helix, the other one, etc.
Okay, but it is possible to draw blood from this Dominator project that is over. James, it's over.
I will persevere and I will come through and make that sweet, sweet million and then give you like half of it because I'm a nice friend. And then you can say, wow, I can actually start a career in baby making.
I could do... We're gonna get to the episode, but like I could probably sell my semen now. Welcome to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling.
My name's James.
My name's Sean.
Sean, you were just on as the cool-ass Cody Lambert in Step by Step Formulaic, released yesterday.
Truly a dream role since my childhood, until I saw that clip where Cody tells a girl to stop sleeping around and stop laughing.
He doesn't say that. He says you can do that.
No, he says you should not because of AIDS.
Okay. I guess Sean just loves the spread of AIDS. I guess you're a Republican from 1986.
No, I'm a fan of the statistical accuracy, Project Truth style, of abstinence before marriage sexual education does not prevent the spread of AIDS, as well as actual sexual education.
He's giving
safety
that.
measures.
He's
he is
an-
not.
Yes,
he doesn't
he
mention
is.
condoms once. He just says, stop sleeping around, and your laugh is weird.
He doesn't know about condoms. He's never had to
17.
use
It
one.
is the night. You should know about them. You've gone to a convenience store to buy a pack of Twinkies and or ho-hos. Instead of calling these girls ho-hos, maybe he should look up from the ho-ho stand and notice condoms and educate himself into proper sexual education. There's nothing wrong with celibacy before marriage, if that is your choice, but do not go around acting like that is sexual education when it is not.
Okay, I would like to give context. This woman is like she's feeling bad. She has not had good relationships in the past. That he's saying this is another option. She has been sleeping around. And just so you know, like AIDS is scary. It's still 1993.
Well, AIDS is scary today. But he says,
Now with Discovery Prep, you should sign up for Discovery Prep. It's just one shot a month. Oh, baby.
And I quote, I can smell your stinky pussy drenched in strange semen from here. And also, I hate your giggle.
Okay, the giggle thing, maybe, but him slut-shaming her, he is just saying, hey, there are men out there that aren't all about sex. We can just go hang out, and I will still want to be with you.
Yes. Yes, but no.
Don't you dare disparage this king.
I'm disparaging the Disney Corporation, which owns ABC,
Yes.
which was really heavy-handed in their Christian propaganda at the time.
No, they weren't. They didn't release VeggieTales, did they?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I need to go. Hold on. Make sure. I'm going to ASMR keyboard.
They didn't. I'll already tell you. It went from being independent to, I believe, Netflix now owns the rights to it.
Okay, should I cut the ASMR keyboard bit then?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Should we talk about wrestling at some point?
Ooh, baby, I'm liking the wrestling. But hey, guys, Megan was real good. I highly recommend it.
That sounds awesome. That movie does sound, it looks fun as hell. Like fun and scary. I know you had like personal experience. I believe I've talked before how Joker might not be the best movie, but because of personal experience kind of affected me in a certain way. Mm-hmm. I guess what I want to ask is that if it's not a personally triggering story, because I heard there were like funny bits. You even mentioned just there are funny bits that like if it hits close up, okay.
There are a lot of humor in it. It's very campy. It's a fantastic movie and the story's good, but just because it's sad doesn't mean it's an amazing movie that I'll probably never watch again unless Nicole finds. I had to go see this at like 12:15 in the afternoon by myself. And that could also have affected my watching because it is a like group experience. But Nicole said, absolutely, I don't want to see this. And now she's like, oh, maybe I should see it. I'm like, oh.
That's it. I think that's an interesting difference also between us, though, where I do love an afternoon solo movie.
Oh, I mean, I do too, but I think this movie is made better seeing it with friends and a group of people. So going and watching it by myself with maybe 5 other people spread out in the theater definitely hampered the enjoyment.
I can see that. I think part of it, though, is if I'm grouping with friends, I don't as much want to do like a movie activity. Because like if we all saw the movie at separate times and then came together and talked about it while throwing rocks at a tree until it unveiled a secret portal taking us to a magical world, that'd be dope. Because, you can have conversations throughout that.
Nightmare Before Christmas style.
Hey, you know it, baby. We want a Sandy Claus. We want a Claus. We want the drill claw from the Man the Machine Cage and all of these lovely people in the ring tonight at the temple.
You know why Zero and Jack were throwing rocks at that tree? They had just seen Fatal Attraction for the first time.
Ooh, I don't remember which movie that is.
There's a boiled rabbit.
Okay. Oh, right, the Boiled Rabbit movie.
Yeah.
I would tell you about my friend Jonas from college.
Jonas?
Yeah. He was the 5th Jonas brother they weren't allowed to talk about because he would keep things like dead rabbits in his freezer. And if you went in any of the party, like house parties over at his place, if you got there early, you could get a few shots before the party starts and throw knives into the floorboard.
Did he really keep dead animals?
It was a rabbit he hunted.
Okay.
Like it was planned for consumption.
All
but
right.
we're all just, but like it's college, and a lot of us are like, New York kids, so we don't have like a lot of hunting sort of a familiarity.
Yeah.
So we're like, hey, what's the, so he asks what's in the bag of the back. He's like, rabbit. We're all like, what? And then he holds it for a real long time with very severe eye contact. And you feel both loved and terrorized at the same time. He's a special kind of guy.
Yeah. I grew up in Muskegon, Michigan, where when deer hunting season started, maybe 20% of the dudes would be absent for like an entire week.
Okay.
Because they would be going hunting with their family.
Dude, that's like a full ass camping though. Like, because like when you go camping for like a couple days, right?
Yeah.
You sleep in a tent, you cover yourself in urine.
Well, they would make tree little forts. There's a specific name for it. Obviously, I didn't go hunting. I had an uncle, my Uncle John, still have him. He loves hunting, and he had very respectfully just said, hey, when I turned 12, 13, he's like, would you like to start going hunting with me? I said no, and he said, all right, and never pressed the issue ever again.
That's so chill.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, if he'd asked me, I would have said no, and then I would have gone back to my bedroom, which I had converted into a pillow fort, and covered myself in urine, as I would do at that age, and realize I've been hunting the whole time.
Yeah, and you were hunting dog like Megan.
No, man, I was hunting sexy boys named Johnny like fucking King Cuerno.
Uh-huh.
Lucha Underground, episode 15.
Yeah. Eye for an eye.
Yeah, baby.
Tooth for a long in the tooth, step by step.
Formulaic. Quick on the dark match. It's Argenis, whom we love. Hernandez, which I'm shocked. TNA, I didn't realize Hernandez is already working. He wasn't one of the flagship members of the LAX, the Latin American Exchange, but he was a key member. I think, 7-time tag champ in TNA, multiple times with Homicide. And the third member of this team, so it's Argenis Hernandez and Jeff Cobb, who, if you're watching New Japan Today, he's a member of the United Empire, also Guam flag bearer and light heavyweight freestyle wrestler in the 2004 Summer Olympics.
Wait, all these people are in the dark match?
Sorry, these three defeated, so they're putting over these three dudes, El Mariachi Loco, Ricky Mandel, and M-Dog 20, baby, son of Havoc.
Okay, but when you started just giving too many different aliases and then they're working with these people in this different promotion, I could not follow one bit.
I saw it as your eyes glazed over in a beautiful shade of Krispy Kreme delight. And that's why I was like, I gotta move this shit along.
Krispy Kreme, get it out of here. I'm sugar-free since 2022.
Ooh-wee. I know. I'm so sorry. I'll shove it all inside of me.
Sean, the night I forgot to mention this on Formulaic, we recorded that, and I was going to say just very quickly, because I'll bring up my dietary stuff with Shelby. I was going to say, today I ate 2 bags of fried rice. And then she would have been like, we don't have time to get into what that means. You can go into the freezer section and they have fried rice, and it's in bags, and it feels like, well, this has to be giving me cancer, because it's like these special plastic bags that you just cut a corner of, and it says, put in the microwave for this long, flip it for this long. It's like 4 minutes total, and it is perfect. It's crazy that it took this long to really perfect microwave any kind of style cooking technology, but after that, I'm guessing I was dehydrated, on account of me only eating fried rice that one day. And before I went to bed, I looked in the mirror and flexed my cum gutters. And Sean, I was like, holy shit! Oh my God, they're insane now.
Well, that's why bodybuilders dehydrate themselves before shows, and it's keep drinking water, James.
Yes. I'm also drinking water, but I think no matter how much water I drank, me eating 2 bags of fried rice. Also, the fact that it's not very filling, so I probably was also skinny as is. But, oh, baby, cum gutters are coming in clean.
Nice. Congratulations. I'm glad you discovered a new cum guttering technique.
Eat fried rice.
Hell yeah, show the world them goods.
Chug soy sauce. How much soy sauce do you think you could chug?
How much soy sauce do I think I could chug if I had to chug soy sauce?
Yes.
Like, I don't know, like how big is a thimble?
Thimble size.
Okay, so like maybe a thimble-sized thimble with all the holes still in it.
Okay. I think I could do enough that it coats my mouth and then I'm like, oh, nope, my body is rejecting this.
Yeah.
Like when I did that pepper stream and I was just housing jalapenos. It's not that they were hot. My body was just truly rejecting them after the 7th one.
I wonder why. Oh, yeah, because it's going to kill you, Christian. Well, you know what's not going to kill us? A little bit of recap. So we just remember where we're at the temple, which is, of course, Big Rick telling that priest he's going to sin. He's got 3 Judases to get his sinning on with.
Look at my eye, you can't.
Because of the eye patch after the cigar burn. Our lovely Mil Muertes, the man of 1,000 deaths, is also the man of cuckoldery, as Phoenix is making out with Katrina all over the place.
I have words about this story arc that I'm very excited to get into later.
Beautiful. Also, we got Cueto's key, mysterious as it is around his neck, and Matanza, the name we learned from Black Lotus, the mysterious woman covered in leathers. We know it is mysterious, and we know it could destroy the temple.
This could be a sequel to Indiana Jones. It's Indiana Jones and Cueto's Key.
I'd watch that. I'd watch anything with Indiana Jones. You know they use Shia LaBeouf sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I haven't seen Shia LaBeouf in some time. I think I miss him.
No, you don't. He's very, very problematic.
Oh, then I don't.
That's why you haven't seen him in a while.
All right, I'm not watching this new Indiana Jones movie featuring Cueto's Key. I'm sorry, Harrison Ford.
Indiana Jones, I think I've seen like the first 2 when I was a child and haven't seen any others.
Oh man, you didn't see the Sean Connery Cup of Jesus? Doom. No, Temple of Doom was number 2, which is awesome. Temple of Doom is very fun.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's number 1, I think. Fuck. And The Last Crusade.
There we go.
The Crusade is the final one. We will never crusade again.
But then they did. Twice.
They did. Wait, they did twice after that?
Well, I mean, there's about to be a new one.
Oh, yes, true.
I thought that's why you brought this up.
No, it's because you brought this up.
Oh, yeah,
you brought this up. Wait a minute.
Okay. All right, what's up with more of this shit? The Cueto's Key recap.
Yeah, man, it's mysterious, can destroy the temple. Also, Mil's gonna fuck Chavo. And goddamn Alberto. But let's go to Hano. And we cut to a full moon over the temple. As Mariachi El Bronx plays us to the desk, Vampiro says the world is buzzing over the AAA Mega Championship, and Mil's gonna kill Chavo. He's so excited, he chooses to begin choking Matt Stryker.
I was so excited for this. I was like, Mil, Mil, Mil. And then I was like, wait, no, there's a parody in that. Mil guy, he'll make you die. Mil
Muertes is in our first match. No Katrina versus Chavo.
Doesn't need it.
Well, the crowd apparently do. The Where's Katrina chants like immediately.
Really?
Before the bell even. Oh yeah, there's big Where is Katrina chants. Because they know Katrina follows the rules of Itchy and Scratchy's Poochie. If Katrina's not on our screen, we should be asking ourselves, where's Katrina? Listen, man, I needed that reference.
Okay.
I don't need it to stay in the show. I just needed to make it.
It's there.
Thank you so much.
The listeners are hearing it. Also, I do want to quickly say I got a message from one of our listeners, my friend Oli, and it was just, it's crazy that out of the... I talk about dominating dogs, and he comes because he knows that's a joke. But he's hey, leave Ronnie Radke alone. I'm like, fuck that dude. He sucks.
Yeah, I don't even know him. He looks like he sucks.
Yeah. So Muskegon and Ronnie Radke, you're on my shit list.
Yo, Muskegon, you already know what I said about Muskegon. They can get even with not me. Man, I do this podcast weekly for over a year now. What's happening in my brain?
Yeah, on I think February 10th-ish.
Is that going to be our year?
There's an improv event happening that I'm curious as to see what the person, I think, hosting or starring in it, how they're going to be acting and doing improv.
Oh, poorly. I got to imagine, I think it's February 3rd, and I got to imagine poorly.
Sean, Nicole and I believe, will be right up front.
Well, thankfully, it's an open stage, so it's keeping it low stakes. Hell, you guys want to come on up? Come on up.
Brunch prov.
Brunch prov, baby. Take your breakfast and shove it in your lunch. The other co-host has not signed off on that tagline as of yet, but let's get it going. Also with this Mil versus Chavo match, the payoff. This is the whole, remember Chavo, the entirety of Mexico is coming after you disrespected a Blue Demon Jr. so disrespectfully. James, are you still on Let's Shit in Chavo's bag?
Yeah, I say screw this dude. And later on, he has like this sniveling thing that like Dario and him are both so like, no, don't hurt me, that it's insane that one can alpha the other.
We'll get to that scene, but that is beautifully worded. And that is the story of a lot of this match. Chavo is, yes, quicker, but also older and a little more technical. And even more importantly, dirty. He's going to need to pull... Ooh, he's got one. A butt.
The size and girth of Mil, baby.
He's a big boy with powerful strikes. And a jaw that just won't quit, in that you can kick him in the jaw and he will continue to murder you.
Uh-huh.
And I was curious to say, I think this is the first time Mil is getting a positive fan reaction.
Oh, I'm glad. And
like a heroic one. Not that he hasn't been he hasn't been getting reactions, but a heroic one, I should say.
Yeah, because he's the greatest. I know, is being manipulated by someone who truly is evil, and there's a very funny thing one of the announcers said that I'm excited to get to, but he's great. I love him. Presenting him as a heel was this dumbest idea ever, because he does not talk, yet he is so charismatic.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. I don't think it's dumb necessarily. It can be done. So growing up with the WWE, that company is pretty infamous for handling big monsters kind of poorly. Kane is a great example. Big Show's a great example.
The former CEO and owner, Vince McMahon.
For some reason, no, that's the one monster they booked marvelously. I don't know why.
They have a poor way of handling big monsters. And yeah, they kind of handled him poorly. Still are. He's back in, baby.
Oh, this podcast does not approve of that decision. And I don't think that show is going to be watchable by WrestleMania, but I'm hoping we get to the Rumble at least. It was so good for such a short period of time, but it has been really fun to watch over the last couple months.
It would have been funny last year, like exactly a year ago. I applied to work at WWE, never heard back from them. Mm-hmm. Everywhere I apply, they're like, hey, we like your resume, but you don't think you're a perfect fit. So I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, what do I need to do? Oh, know someone who works at the company. So it would have been funny if I got the job and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, Sean, I got to move to Saudi Arabia.
That's the gig was. It's just to be our Saudi contact.
Well, no, it was for like podcast producing, and like if they had bought it, they're like, we're moving everything over there. And I'd go, I can't do this, guys. I don't handle heat well.
Aww.
Also, in the figurative sense, this company's getting a lot of heat right now.
Well, who is also not handling the heat well? Old Chavo Guerrero.
Ooh, them steamers.
Interestingly enough, Mil is the steamroller from the first Austin Powers movie. It might not be the fastest thing in the world. It might not be the flashiest, but slowly and surely, it is coming to kill you, Michael McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Scream as long as you wish.
They bring up how Chavo's fighting dirty, and that's like the lie, cheat, and steal is the Guerrero way, I believe is what they say. And they bring up Hector Guerrero, and Stryker says, "Oh, what's the relationship with him and Chavo?" And Vampiro, there's a small beat, and like a child says, "Uncle." And I don't know why I thought it was very cute and funny, but I wish the camera was on him to have him go, "Uncle."
Honestly, I loved the uncle moment, and I loved them. Also equally cute, I thought, was the bit Vampiro follows that up with. A little bit older, a little bit wiser, just as ugly, and just as dirty.
Ooh.
I'm like, that's a nice little, yeah. The lie and the cheat and the steal, of course, referring to Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo's tag team in the WWE. Shouts out. If it's been a while since you've checked some of those tag matches, check it out on YouTube. Those dudes were awesome. But even all the lying, all the cheating, all the stealing, it's taking advantage of a Hallow Mil, which I thought was an interesting note to this performance from Mil Muertes, that he definitely, like, Chavo was getting a lot of, like, good offense in because, like, yeah, he was missing that drive and that edge. Thankfully, he has a whole bunch of, like, health. He put a lot of points in health and stamina, you know? So he can take a lot of this offense, but the fact that he's not, like, popping out of this immediately, and he's not, like, swinging for the fences like we know he is, like, or we know he can do. Something about that lack of a rock in a tissue that I think is affecting our boy Mil.
But guess what? It comes into play.
Oh, it sure will. Because, like, and as right as they comment on this was a really nice piece of pacing and timing. As the commentary picks up on, he seems a little different. He seems like he's missing something. Maybe Katrina appears on the top of the steps. Big spotlight comes to ringside.
And I think Stryker says, like, "Oh, yeah, she's like a nun." And then Vampiro goes, "She ain't no nun, dude. She's a devilish fiend." And this is truly, spoilers for the nun, that is what the Warrens come to conclusion on the nun, is like, "Oh, she's not actually a nun. She's Valak. She's a devilish fiend." It's so funny. I wish Vampiro was in that movie and just going, "Oh my God, she's no nun. She's a devilish fiend."
Name a movie I wish Vampiro was not in.
Like, Vampiro, Warrior of the Night.
Oh, come on. He wasn't in that movie.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Not really. As Katarina comes down, Mil eventually executes an electric chair, and begins to take over, starts the tide turning. Unfortunately, Chavo ends the match at 5:35 with a disqualification of himself. He hits big, beautiful Mil Muertes with a goddamn chair. You can't do that.
Mil turns around and he goes to swing again. And Nicole was like, "What the fuck is going on in here?" Because I started screaming when Mil, like he's Finn in Sharknado, punching a shark out of the sky. This man, he is not a entity of evil. Like, in reality, this is a real man, punches a steel chair being swung at him out of the sky.
Well, to be fair, and this is all theory and speculation because I'm not sure. I don't know how much of a regular man. I think Mil still has some sort of magic in him. I think The Rock is still tied to him. It's why this match went on as long as it did and wasn't as punishing.
No, Sean, I mean, like, the man behind the mask, like, who has children and goes to the grocery store, that is a normal person who, as an actor, was able to put on his resume, can punch steel chairs out of the sky.
Which I recognize, but I also think that the magic rock that Mil, and I don't know what actor. What do you mean actor? This man is a wrestler.
Sean, what season of Fargo are you in?
I don't know, one of them.
Oh my God. Because Nicole's watching it and we want to be on the lookout.
Later, Chris Rock is there.
Okay, all right. I will tell Nicole Chris Rock's there.
All right. So yeah, Chavo gets knocked, rocked, and shocked, and flatlined onto his own chair. What a fool. Afterwards, Mil demands Katrina lick of death's Chavo. She refuses. She refuses to lick of death shitty-ass Chavo Guerrero for this Mil Muertes man.
Yeah, and Stryker is saying, "Oh, this," because he's kind of like shoving her face down. It looks borderline assaulty. And
Yeah.
Stryker goes, ooh, this is provocative. And there's this movie, I have to get the name right because there's a good version of this title, and then there is a bad one. I think it's Final Girls, or is it The Final Girls? Okay, it is Final Girls. The good one with Chloe Grace Moretz and the dude who played Richie in Teen Witch wrote the movie. Or maybe it's just Final Girl. It is Final Girl. Oh my God, this movie sucks so bad.
I can't tell whether this movie is good or not.
Oh, no. Nicole purchased this movie thinking it was The Final Girls, the good one, and then was like, oh, wait, it's not. It has Abigail Breslin, who is in Little Miss Sunshine, and I think one of the Narnia movies, maybe. It's by this dude named Tyler Shields, and Shields is known for his provocative photography involving violence and danger. In this, he's like, I'm a provocateur, and we were like, what? Why is this dude doing this? It looks like an art film. It's beautifully shot and looks good, but Nicole will sometimes scream, "You Babylonian whore," because someone screams that in this movie. It's laughably bad. And I guess we should do this for, we don't want to submit our friends to it, though.
Let's focus on one podcast at a time.
Yeah, it's so bad, but whenever someone says provocative, I always think of this guy saying, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a provocateur. Shut up.
Well, I think Mil Muertes is about to call Katrina a Babylonian whore, as he not only grabs her forcefully, but when she refuses, sets her up in a flatliner. Another flatliner onto the chair. And she's defiant the entire time. And she's pouty and defiant. Fuck you, I don't even give a shit. Give me your flatliner, you big, dumb, dead doofus. However, Phoenix, kind of like a Chad skater boy who stole the quarterback's girlfriend, is coming in to stop this quarterback from beating up his girlfriend. Which is a really fucked up moment in a teen movie, but is provocatorish. And it gets you going. Phoenix makes the save.
Phoenix is now the #1 heel in my eyes in this company.
For saving a woman from getting hit by a man.
No, she's not a woman. She's no nun. She's a devilish fiend.
Not every woman needs to be a nun. Women can be devilish fiends.
Oh, yeah, but she's a literal devilish fiend. Something is going on.
Yeah, she's hot. And after he makes the save and they escape, they go onto the ramp and they make kissy faces. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
She's like, oh, I'll give this man the lick of death, but he'll just keep coming back. Oh, my God, holy shit. Maybe that's why she's into him. Like, hey, I can kiss him and make out with him. He'll die, but he's a phoenix. He keeps coming back.
Maybe. Kind of like the old Deadpool death storyline. Where oh, man, this is the one dude I can't have. But we are so simpatico in that. Our opposites attract, like at Paula Abdul and a cartoon cat.
MC Scat Cat, get his name right. Respect him.
I refuse. He knows what he's done. Phoenix squares up though, and because Katrina there's a vibe here also that Katrina's more using Phoenix at this point than might actually be interested in him. Mil knows something's fucked up, and Phoenix is just again, it's just kind of like this sweet, dumb skater boy, this very himbo-y skater boy of I don't know, man, but you shouldn't hit women, and I like making out, so I'm good. And that's his paycheck for the night. Good for him. We cut to a temple sink closet, or a sink closet within the temple, as Black Lotus is picking a lock to the stairs leading up to the final Bowser fight in Mario 64. That's all we get. She's picking a lock and finding some secret rooms. It's pretty cool. And in Cueto's office, Cueto calls himself El Jefe, which is always an immediate red flag. Anyone who calls himself boss, if you're not Bruce Springsteen, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. But the crew is with him, and he's telling the crew how impressed he is for jumping Puma and Mundo, and especially Big Rick.
He says, allow me to be nostalgic for a moment. Remember Snick Nickelodeon on Saturdays and Cousin Skeeter?
He spends about 15 minutes talking about Cousin Skeeter in a way that felt like he could have gone on for 30.
Sean, do you remember Cousin Skeeter?
I do not remember moments. I remember that sweet, sweet puppet cousin.
Okay,
and
cool.
I remember having a kids meal from Burger King where you could put your fingers into Cousin Skeeter's legs, and you had a little Cousin Skeeter that you could put on your tech deck fingerboards and do some sweet tricks around the countertop.
So this existed, I created because of things like Cousin Skeeter, where I explain the plot or the concept of a show / movie to Nicole, and generally she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? For Cousin Skeeter, she's like, what? This cannot be real. And I was like, you want to know what? Yeah, it shouldn't be real, but it is, it is.
Yeah, I feel like, did it only get the one season? I remember 2.
I think it had 3. I thought it just had 1, but when I looked it up on the call-in show, I think it was, all of a sudden I'm like, this went on for way too long.
Cousin Skeeter, man, if you don't listen, maybe it's really good.
Yeah.
It might be like, we might have to do a watch-along of Cousin Skeeter.
We'd have to torrent it because it's not on Paramount or anything.
Damn it. Well, what I would like, I don't know about torrenting, but I think I want to tore off the crew's new tank tops. I don't know how you feel about them. They have new shirts, matching basketball jerseys that say The Crew.
I'm cool with it. I love branding.
It's some good branding. It's some quality branding. It feels a little. I liked their more street clothes.
Branding is why I joined Nexium.
Well, hold on now.
Branding's why
we have not talked about this.
Branding's why I dressed up like a lady and started DMing Chris D'Elia. Have you seen that documentary?
I need to still watch it.
It's so fucking vile.
That's kind of why I'm partially why I'm avoiding it, is because I know it's gonna be heavy, but it's also if you don't know this stuff and Chris D'Elia is coming to your town and promoting his shows, you should probably know this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy how the media only touched on so little of what he was doing, where when you find out there are hundreds of women coming out and saying yeah, I even have the proof to say he was DMing me all this stuff. And he would have people these women who he was trying to get in harems. This is why I brought up the branding, would have them tattoo his initials on them.
Jesus, that is trafficker behavior, baby. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I hate comedy.
Let's get Kyle Anderson on this show.
Yeah, wait, who's Kyle Anderson?
He's the one who directed this documentary.
Oh, fuck yeah. Kyle Anderson, do you want to talk about Lucha Underground?
Yeah, let's do it. Shelby might know him. They follow each other, I think.
Neat.
Of course they do. I looked up and I was like, wait, people I follow him and back and forth? And I'm like, oh, well, of course it's R2 Shelby too.
Yeah.
Speaking of trash people, they bring up the crew it's a 3-on-3 match with the crew against these freaks of Lucha Underground. And to Dario, a strong woman is a freak.
Agreed. I've never agreed with Dario Cueto so strongly in my life. What's happening? Women? They're wrestling? With wrestling maneuvers? I cannot believe it.
I wrote that down because it's Sexy Star, Mascarita, Sagrada, and Pimpy. And
Pimpinela, Escarlata, yes.
The two, you could be oh, back in the day, 2 of these people would have been known as, in quotes, freaks. But just a woman? I guess maybe in the witch trial days.
Yeah, there's an argument. I don't know, man. I know you didn't spend a lot of time in a lot of the Attitude Era. And of course we've booked women on our wrestling shows. See? They're in bikinis, and we're going to put them in a pile of mud. Mm-hmm. And then you'll see Stone Cold and Undertaker. So, women wrestling the way they're presenting Sexy Star and Ivelisse later in the show. And we'll see later, she's not in this season, but Thunder Rosa, who will be under a different name when we see her. The way these women are treated, the way they present themselves, which are not as valets or escort or anything like that, or girlfriends. No, they are professional wrestlers. Even Ivelisse, who is the girlfriend of Son of Havoc, is also a wrestler in her own right.
Yeah, which, speaking of, let's get into the next match.
Ivelisse with Son of Havoc is in the ring with a microphone. Son of Havoc tonight was supposed to have a rematch with Angelico, but after watching Son of Havoc lose week after week after week, Ivelisse decides that she is handling his battles for him, calls out Angelico herself. We get into the match, and Ivelisse versus Angelico.
I thought when she started saying, like, hey, you've been a little punk bitch, I thought she was going to say, it's you and me tonight. We are going up against each other. Let's see who is the dominant one in the relationship. I would have loved that. And if all of a sudden she wins and she's now the one on all the cards fighting other men, I would have loved it. But I liked this match. It was great. Ooh, baby.
Yeah. I like that idea. I think maybe we're building to that.
I actually, unfortunately, saw, while researching one of the people, where this goes, and I am so excited about it, and I think you will be too.
I know a little bit where it goes because I have seen title histories.
Yes, that's what got spoiled for me.
And I'm also excited for it because I have not seen up to that yet. But don't you worry about it, sweet, sweet listeners, because we are in the present moment. And in the present moment, Ivelisse is using all of her MMA skills to take down the charismatic, the marvelously aloof, and the wonderfully technical Angelico. Before the match really even gets started, Vampiro decides to mention that Son of Havoc is kind of like naive because, he doesn't realize that Ivelisse is sort of a bitch. Am I the only one who sees this? Is it just me? Am I the only, is it just me? I'm not. Listen, I love women. Okay, let me first, there's a lot of that energy when he decides to call Ivelisse a bitch. Which, I think that's what she's going for. I don't know if I would call Son of Havoc naive because I think he's an asshole as well.
Yeah.
But that's why they're weird. Not quite toxic, but not healthy in the traditional sense relationship is working out for them right now.
Yeah, they're like two scumbag douches who met each other and they're like, yeah, I like combat sports. Do you? And they're like, yeah, okay, let's do this together.
They are like a tap out tea and a Monster Energy drink decided to fall in love. And it's beautiful.
There are those two people in your neighborhood that sit on their porch and they're like, hey, get off my fucking lawn, you dumbass kids. And then the other one's like, yeah, you tell him, honey.
I told you the plate throwing story before.
No, I don't think so.
So Buffalo, New York, baby, has a neighborhood called Kaisertown. And it's a neighborhood.
Nicole has said, man, you should tell Sean for me, fuck Kaisertown.
I mean, no, for true. Listen. For true. There is a couple next door. A classic relationship that you only see them fighting in public. And you're just kind of like, I get it. You probably have real great sex because you are denying each other intimacy everywhere else in this relationship. But constantly fighting in public, constantly breaking up. At one point, there's a big argument on the front lawn because where else would you have it?
Sean, this podcast is kind of in public, and we fight all the time. We should let our guests or our listeners know we
are
got some
fucking
great sex.
Hard in the boudoir. Hard in the boudoir, baby.
Well, we're arguing. Oh, baby. I'm like a faucet of pre-cum over here.
All right.
I kept saying that this morning, and Nicole's like, the fuck are you saying, James?
Nicole is my pee buddy and also my the fuck are you saying, James buddy. But so she goes on the front lawn, she explodes and is like, I can't do this. I'm living with my mother. I'm out. And she leaves this man and moves in with her mother. But her mother lives literally across the street.
Hell yeah.
So she storms across the street and they spend the rest of their night throwing what can only assume be Dale Earnhardt Jr. commemorative plates at each other across the street.
Junior's the bad one. Junior's the lib. Okay, we want daddy. Those plates with Earnhardt Jr. deserve to be thrown.
Damn, these colors don't run. Neither do my shits with granola bars. That's the vibe I'm getting off of Son of Havoc and Ivelisse. That they have a terrible fight, move in with their mother, but she lives across the street, so you spend the rest of the night throwing plates across at each other. trying to crack some windows.
Yeah, I have a story like that, but the person who was throwing the plates, I think, is like, can you please stop telling that story? It was a bad part of my life. They have apologized many times for this, but oh boy, was it still traumatic.
Hey,
Listen to Engage with Nicolas Cage. I've probably said it on there because it's a paywall, but that individual is a paywalled patron. So as said, hey, again, I'm sorry for that.
Hey, well, Evilise is not apologizing for her MMA background, which Matt Stryker puts over. I couldn't find too much about her MMA background. I could find anything other than maybe possibly one fight for Fight Card Entertainment in March 2013. I found an interview where she says she's doing the fight, but every time I found the actual night of fights, I couldn't find a card. Mm-hmm. So maybe she fought, maybe the fight got canceled last minute. I'm not sure. I can confirm, though, that she started training professional wrestling at 15.
Hell yeah.
In her birthplace, Puerto Rico, before coming to Chicago.
Whoa.
I couldn't get an exact year on it. But yeah, came to Chicago to continue training and took over the Indies. Big Indies guy before getting noticed by WWE, put into developmental in Florida Championship Wrestling around 2011, which is Florida Championship Wrestling would go on to become NXT. So for about 3 months, she was in that first class of NXT. Unfortunately, was released by August of 2012 because Bill DeMott is garbage.
We got to get her on the show.
I would love to get her on the show. Evilise has a very interesting career, and she's a lot of fun. She's great in Lucha Underground.
And we can get some citations for Wikipedia to say, hey, what's this MMA background about?
Yeah, I want to, she definitely spent, there's definitely time she spent training, because the MMA fight was March 2013. So I'm sure she had training. I just don't know if she actually fought. But I can confirm she fought the shit out of Angelico.
Yeah, he keeps saying, I'm not actually going to fight you. And then she's like, I'm just going to keep kicking the shit out of you until you submit.
Pretty much. Which, I agree. It's a lot of Angelico's has the very charming hand behind. He puts his hand behind his back. He's offering her hand I don't want to punch you right now. I'm sorry.
I also like that. It looks like he's borderline being a creep and about to kiss her, all of this stuff. But it's just to kind of be a scamp asshole to Son of Havoc of I'm going to kiss her. While looking directly at him just to make Havoc mad.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to start this rivalry. You give them the rivalry and you give it to them in the way they don't expect by getting in their head, not just their muscles. And he can also do all these lean-ins and almost capture the lips because of his he's a big Yave guy, which is I think the first time we really get to see his proficiency in catch-as-catch-can wrestling, which is a lot of transitions and capturing arms and legs into various either locks or throws. Mm-hmm. So he's really good at these it's because he's not a jacked guy, but he's a very limber leg limby guy, lanky Kong style guy.
I'm a limey guy.
Blimey hell, you British man.
Yay.
But I was very excited to see them utilize a strength of his wrestling, which is capturing limbs and various locks, and doing that not to beat up, not to hurt Evilise, but to A, get her to stop kicking him for a second, and B, get into the head of Son of Havoc.
Ooh, that's a good game. Capture the limbs. It's like capture the flag, but you're going around, and maybe this is post-apocalyptic, and limbs are currency, so you have to capture the limbs and get them back so you can get the credits. Because, in the future, it's never, hey, it's dollar bills, it's credits. And,
sure. Bottle caps.
What?
Bottle caps, like Fallout, they have bottle caps.
Oh, that I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
If someone comes at me and what about double dollars and Trigun? Shut up.
Yeah, man, I can't afford Trigun DVDs. Those things really cost an arm and a leg. Oh, baby.
No, ask Nicole and she'll be like, anime's never been expensive to purchase here in the United States of America.
It's not really. I just wanted to make that joke.
No. Back when my friend Steve-O purchased, not that Steve-O, we just called him Steve-O. When he bought...
Did you think I thought you knew Steve-O?
I don't know. Maybe some of the listeners will. So
I could see you knowing Steve-O, but I know Steve-O came from Florida, and you're a Muskegon guy.
Yeah.
Geographically speaking. Oh, shit. They are both peninsulas.
So when he bought Trigun in 2000 and maybe 5, it was like $50 probably. And that was expensive back then.
Yeah, that's a chunk. That's a couple bean burritos from your favorite gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this bean.
Is that your... Okay, so in your post-apocalyptic fan fiction, your fantasy world, the credits are gas station bean burritos.
Yeah, you gotta collect, because they don't go bad because they're beans, and they're delicious.
And you can serve them hot or cold.
Yeah, they're adaptable, they're delicious, they're beans. I love them. I really do. I don't have a great way to transition back into this match. And Helico gives a big flapjack counter to a running attack from Ivelisse, who take like a massive front bump. Like he just kind of like she gets thrown like into the air, lands straight on her face and on her front. And Stryker gossips about her breast surgery with a $12,000 fall. It's if you catch my drift.
Oh, I did not catch that. I thought it meant like, we don't pay our wrestlers enough, and they don't get health insurance from us. That's gonna cost $12,000.
That is a future lawsuit that Ivelisse will help spearhead. But I don't know when we'll talk about that. At some point, we probably should.
Oh, yeah. Probably after season 5.
Yeah, it sounds about right. But no, yeah, that's just Matt Stryker being a perv again. As the ref goes to check on Ivelisse and her breasts to make sure they did not explode on impact, Son of Havoc pops up on the apron, and Helico goes to have some words, instead catches an enziguri to the head. All this time, Helico was trying to get into Son of Havoc's head. Son of Havoc just went upside on Helico's.
He rolls over onto Ivelisse, and she folds him up like a convenience store burrito.
I said it eventually, but okay. I just needed to have my moment of deer in the headlights first. She does gas station bean burrito roll him up at 2 minutes 41 seconds.
And then he gets on the mic and says, like, hey, if you ever want a real one-on-one, ditch the dude, baby. And Vampiro, I don't understand. Because he's like, he thinks he's speaking French?
Before you say anything, I agree.
This
Vampiro, I don't understand.
He doesn't have a French accent at all.
No. I forget, wait, do you have actually what he was trying to say at all? Because I do not remember this entirely, but I believe it.
What Angelico was saying?
Wait, where was the French coming from?
From Angelico.
Okay.
Vampiro says, oh man, this dude's talking French up there.
Well, he's trying. You know what? He's trying, and I appreciate that.
No, he's just talking in his normal voice. There's no French.
He's not trying hard, but he's trying.
Oh, my God.
We have another match coming up. Superfly versus Tejano.
A.K.A. the Battle of the Bitty Bottoms. Both of them had little butts.
They got some great butts up there.
Little.
You just think... I thought they were cute. I thought those were some cute tookuses.
They were small. Like, it's not like a mill butt.
No, it ain't. We ain't dealing hefty milkshake bringing boys to the yard energy here.
Or a Cody Lambert ass. Ooh, baby.
I feel like that man doesn't have a huge ass.
Oh, no, he does. There was a, like, early, I think season 1 or maybe season 3. It's because he's wearing, like, baggy stuff, but when he's not, and he, like, takes a step forward as if he's lunging, it's an onion booty, baby.
Ooh-wee. Well, speaking of onions, Tejano is an onion, and we have a sit-down interview with Vampiro, the master of French, to peel back some of these layers on the former AAA mega champion.
Yeah, and he says, I'm like an ogre.
He does say that. That is true.
They translated this really poorly. The subtitles are not correct. He was going on and on about the Shrek quadrilogy and at the time the One Puss in Boots spinoff.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, the subtitles go on and on with Tejano basically shutting down Vampiro for a lot of this interview, especially the ex-champion talk. He's here to let him know that he's the top guy in AAA and will be the top guy in Lucha Underground. Tejano's been dominating AAA for 2 years, And even when Vamp reminds Tejano that Alberto dominated him to take the championship, Tejano comes back with the bullshit. He did not win that belt. Alberto stole that belt.
And I believe him.
Yeah, because he's not Alberto.
Yeah.
Vampiro signs off, thanks Tejano for sitting down, but offers the handshake, but Tejano only has a sinister chuckle.
He says, too slow.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, the sinister chuckle is because he's remembering the gingerbread man.
Oh my
in
gosh.
Shrek.
What a bit. Remember that time he started doing the Muffin Man lyrics to like Farquaad? Ooh, what that scamp energy. Gingerbread Man has some scamp energy.
And he's like, how is Donkey pleasing the dragon sexually? It's hilarious.
We all want to know.
He's just shoving a whole hoof in there.
Hoofa.
Covered in his jit.
Coming back. Jit?
Covered in his jit. That's how he impregnated her.
Wait, what's a jit?
Semen.
Oh. Do you mean jizz? And I'm mishearing?
No, people also call it jit. J-I-T.
Yo, that's why you guys tune in. You learn all sorts of new words for semen. Cutting back to the match. Escape counter opening. Superfly taking a slight advantage as far as conditioning and speed, as Tejano's trying to match that energy. But Tejano got stats and endurance. He shakes off the crossbody to follow up with a can opener leg drop. Tejano's and his counters are precise. His bombs, too powerful. And his Tornado Texas secures the at 1:32.
Yeah.
A very short and convincing match for the former AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion.
As it should be, this man dominates.
Yeah, unless Alberto comes out to get some revenge from behind like a coward.
Uh-huh.
Tejano tries to create some distance, but Alberto is on him, ends up paying him back with the bull rope from Tejano's own bull rope.
And like I said in the previous episode, hear what Vampiro is saying, especially when he's talking up Tejano so much of like, he reminds me so much of my dad. This dude should be the champion. Like, he has earned it. He deserves this. And for him to say that, well, the champion man, what's his face? Already forgot it. Everyone's cheering this other dude, but Vampiro's like, no, this dude's the dude to be watching and enjoying, I think is telling.
I mean, yes and no. I don't want to put too much into it because Vampiro the character has proven himself to be an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't know what French sounds like.
He doesn't know what French sounds like. He doesn't trust Johnny Mundo. He didn't begin trusting Chavo until Chavo proved he was a piece of shit and was immediately like, you know what? I like this guy now. Like, I think it is questionable to accept any of Vampiro's takes on morality.
Okay, well, if all of a sudden he's like, man, this Alberto Del Rio dude doesn't seem like he's fun to be in a relationship with, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you want to know what? I think he's saying things we should have been paying attention to.
If he just straight up says it, then yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, he sucks in the locker room. This dude blows.
Hey, this guy, son of legends, real Nepo baby, is gonna throw away his career on a bunch of cocaine and questionable life choices.
And I've been there. Look at that movie I made. But at least I was just making shit movies as high on Quaaludes.
Yeah, it's not like I'll ever be calling a match and request my music to be played to be met with silence. That's never going to happen to me, good old Vampiro. Anyway, you want to cut to Cueto's office?
Yeah, the gods are not going to be pleased.
Not when full-geared Cage, with the broken belt still hanging around his neck, barges in and demands to be named the Lucha Underground champion.
But I see you are. You have all the trimmings that I like in a warrior. Violent, pecs, can dominate dogs.
That's not one of the requirements. Kate, you do not put your dogs inside of Brian Cage.
Yeah,
fans,
do it.
If you meet him, ask for a picture. Tell him you're a big fan of his matches. That Willie Mack duo was really fun. But do not place your dogs inside of this man. He is just trying to get through the airport.
Okay, fine.
But he does. But Cueto is a big fan and decides to set up. He wants to make him champion, but Puma's still technically champ. Technically, Puma still has a victory over you. You disqualified yourself. So here's what he's going to do. Next week, Puma versus Cage, non-title. If he wins, Cage is number one contender. No question. Mm-hmm. Cage agrees, calls the old belt trash, and storms off so that Chavo can sneak in, as Chavo is wont to do, with bags in hand, hat in other hand, letting Cueto know this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, he's all snivelly, and he's like, I'm out of here. I'm going back to my family. And then Cueto goes, all right, I wish you luck on your future endeavors. And then Chavo comes back, and he's like, what did you just say? And he's like, I mean, my door's always open. This is what I'm saying. How is one able to alpha the other?
Well, my favorite is, the future endeavors line is a reference to IRL WWE. When they release you, it's a big future. We wish them well in their future endeavors. That's sort of the cliche. Every time someone gets released, there's going to be a tweet that says wishing them well in their future endeavors. I took that as a shot at WWE, so that's kind of where even Chavo's even more of a snivelly weasel, where he's like, what do you mean by that backhanded statement? Okay, then. And then shuffles off as Cueto mutters to himself, the gods will not be pleased about this.
And then we flash to that lady.
Remember those Mario stairs? Well, they led to the door from the opening of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Uh-huh.
Black Lotus, the mysterious lady searching for Matanza, is in this very Are You Afraid of the Dark, like intro room, which was all, again, the cinematography on this wrestling show is so much better than any wrestling show I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, Glow?
Is Glow a wrestling show, or is it a show about wrestling?
No, I mean the gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that had fantastic cinematography. A stationary on tripod camera is like women just do a cipher of rapping.
Yes.
Man, that's the cipher everyone needs to go see. Fuck the Juggalo ciphers, all 8 of them. Screw these double XL freshman class. Nah, it is the many gorgeous ladies of wrestling ciphers before ciphers were even a thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, not a thing yet, but we know Matanza exists and may become a thing. Black Lotus kicks the door in, finds some creepy prison bars, and begins to extrapolate. So this is where he keeps you, piano. When I was a little girl, the only thing I wanted to be when I grew up was the woman who killed you with my bare hands. Just as she says it, a bag comes over the face from behind, hard cut.
Oh, wait. My blue blockers are so heavy. I couldn't see a lot. When you were like, oh, yeah, it's like an Are You Afraid of the Dark room? I'm like, I just have to assume it is because it looked like a black room and all you could see was her face. So I did not see bags going on her head.
That's how the segment ends. She reveals that she's not looking to help Matanza, which I was shocked by. She's hunting to kill him.
Yeah, this is some Tekken shit, baby.
Huge Tekken shit right now. Big Nina Williams energy, and I'm here for it.
I didn't watch the video, but it is in my queue to watch. YouTube fed me a video with the title, What the heck is a Yoshimitsu?
Ooh, send that my way once you do, because I have a very similar question.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to grow up to be the woman to kill you is what I personally have said to a lot of people. Because then it would mean that I was a girl growing up and now I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it's to. If I have to kill someone to rewrite history and all of a sudden I'm a woman, I might do it. Especially if it's this dude locked up in a cage.
Okay, so it's just real at this. So you were just saying that to anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no they burned down my village, they destroyed my clan.
They kept screaming about the Buffalo Bills to me and how great Griselda is.
It's Griselda, you know this, and bills by a billion all day, every day. The mafia rise strong. Somebody circle my wagons.
What's that lady who was Trump's mouthpiece?
Kellyanne Conway?
Kellyanne Conway the Machine.
All
there
right,
we go. Okay.
We're moving on. Jesus.
That's a fantastic Wheel of Fortune before and after.
Yeah, but also please don't do this.
Please do this.
Pat Sajak, please, in your infinite wisdom, Vanna White, I believe in you. Do not do this to us. Buffalo has lost so much already. The hard cut is to the no disqualification main event, The Crew versus Pimpinela Escarlata, Sexy Star, and Mascarita Sagrada, a bizarre of delights. How you feel about that name, James?
They said it. They said possibly the worst ICP albums ever.
My homie.
Get it out of here.
Go out at night.
Get it.
Everybody run. Muttering fun.
Swing. Chop.
Chop. Swing, chop. Yeah, but also a great name. As like a team name, the Bizarre of Delights.
Oh, yeah.
The BBD. I fuck with that name. We talking about branding? That's some quality branding.
Speaking of branding, one of the announcers was like, yeah, you want to know what? They'll be good against The Crew, and the other one, I think this is why it was said, just goes, The Crew has burned a man's eye.
Which is accurate. A quick reminder, the way The Crew broke up with Big Rick is they took his own cigar, ripped it out of his mouth, and burned his eyeball with it. It's fucking awesome.
So when they get into the ring and it all like starts, they're just beating the shit out of, The Crew is beating the shit out of the other three. And Vampiro, I think, says, this isn't about winning, it's about making a statement, to which I wrote, this isn't about winning, it's about committing a triple hate crime. Because that it's so like, oh no, this feels like a mob beatdown, and it's very uncomfortable in the beginning.
I agree with that. And I don't think that is a negative thing.
Yeah, this is what they are trying to portray themselves as, so it's good in character. But I can see the Invisible Man and be like, wow, this made me really uncomfortable.
Exactly, yeah. I think they achieve what they're going for, and it doesn't feel... Because there's also things where it's like, I know you're going for this, but I don't care for the message.
It doesn't feel exploitative.
It does not feel exploitative.
Yeah.
And it's something I really enjoy about wrestling. I think some of the best wrestling shows have a little bit for everyone. They actually mentioned up top, as they're introducing the Bizarre of Delights, Matt Stryker says, whichever of these three luchadors suit your fancies, there's an app for that, pretty much.
Wow.
And Vampiro comes right in. That's right, Matt. And now that Pimpy's out, you got a big stinky boner, and I can smell it from here. Ooh, 2014 in wrestling is like 2004 everywhere else.
Wait, that really happened?
Not in so many words, but yeah, it's.
I know the stinky boner thing was you embellishing, but I did not know the sentiment of that statement was said.
Yes, that is exactly what Vampiro kind of puts out there.
Do I watch those segments 2 times speed? Yes.
Fair enough.
I click L. Okay. All right, the wrestling's starting. Then I click J 9 times because I do watch the wrestling in 1.1 speed.
Nice. See, and I click L because I'm loving it.
Or because you're catching all those L's, you loser ass.
For true. But the reason but I agree with this, the first part of that sentiment, whichever of these three luchadors suit your fancies, like we got you. Mm-hmm. I think that's what the best, like there should be a little bit of everything. You should have Mil Muertes and you should have Phoenixes, and you should have Pimpies, as well as, Big Ricks. And this match, I think, does a great job of showcasing not just having different styles of matches, but having different styles of fighters interacting with each other.
Lucha Underground is the Mambo number 5 of wrestling promotions.
A little bit of Monica and the others.
Yeah.
All of them. They're all here.
Suzanne.
Yep.
Darnell. Catherine.
From Bolsho.
Peter.
Lemmingwinks.
Vampiros.
Play my music.
And it's Mambo number 5.
Yeah. Play my fucking Mambo number 5, please. And it's interesting, like, yeah, because the first, they kind of split them up. That's how the crew works. The crew's biggest strength is their teamwork and how they divide and conquer. I forget is it Castro? Yeah. Cortez Castro is in the ring with Pimpy at the start. And Pimpy actually, takes it to Castro, but in the very Pimpinela Escarlata way. It is fantastic and fabulous and exciting, but maybe not as direct as Castro's approach, which is to beat the shit out of Pimpy with a kendo stick until you choke Pimpy out, and Pimpy has to be carried out of the match.
Yeah.
Pimpy it has to be taken to the back to be medically examined. So it is now a 2-on-3 match.
No.
I know. And now it's Mascarita Sagrada versus Mr. Cisco in the ring. And Mascarita has a flurry of offense. Ends in a big suicida to the outside. Unfortunately, here's that teamwork again. Bale is out there waiting for him after Sagrada lands on Cisco. Boots him in the face. Gives him a big, nasty powerbomb on the apron.
Ugh.
And that's what takes Sagrada out of the match.
Yeah.
Big 3-on-1 now. The crew versus Sexy Star by herself. But if there's one thing we know about Sexy Star, is she loves to defy the odds. Yeah. And she loves to dig. And to get permabanned from every wrestling company in the world for trying to break someone's arm.
Hey, good. We might be a wrestling show, but we're not one of those kinds of wrestling shows. Sexy Star, get on this program.
Wait, what now?
Yeah, guest on this wrestling show.
I mean, yeah, okay. I guess we could put Sexy Star on to guest. I don't know if I agree with her.
We'll Mark Maron her ass.
What does that mean? You're gonna ask her favorite guys?
No, we're gonna
are
say
we
like,
cool?
in the sense of like, hey, you stole jokes, but no, you kind of stole someone's like next 6 months of their career. What's the deal?
James, I don't take pride in saying this, but I think we're more Joe Rogan in this situation.
No.
It's like, no, we know that there are different opinions. There's 2 sides to every story. I just want to get both sides out there. I love ivermectin.
And then she takes a fat drag of a stogie and one of us goes, oh?
As soon as we see her take that drag of the stogie and one of us goes, oh, we know we've gone too far.
Yeah.
We've gone too far to the Rogan spectrum.
There's a lot of great Joe Rogan, like people editing the video portions of that into very funny memes that are usually on JimmyHere's You Laugh the Video Ends. Check that dude out, JimmyHere.
Hell yeah. I will. That sounds awesome. The odds are against her. Star is bleeding from the mouth before Cisco lands a Bruiser Brody style body slam. Like even at top, but she keeps fighting. But even at she keeps throwing moves, she keeps fighting, she keeps digging. But even a top rope Frankensteiner is not enough as the crew lays in the boots. Cisco grabs her by the mask when here comes Big Mudda Lovin' Rick.
Sean,
James,
and everyone out there, do not clip him walking down this big reveal of Big Rick for the first time since the branding of his eye. Don't clip it and send it to Hideo Kojima because that dude will nut so hard that he dies. This is the makings of an action movie that Hideo Kojima would be like, this is in Death Stranding 2 now, guys. Big Rick, come here. Get over here. We need to 3D scan you, throw you in a mocap suit, and you will be opposite of Norman Reedus for this entire fucking game.
For true. Listen, I think we put over last week how much I think we both really liked the confessional bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have 3 Judases I gotta take care of. Him coming down the ramp with this eye patch, fucking beautiful. So excited to see this. And Cisco and Castro, fucking book it. They see this dude, this man coming back from the dead like he was some kind of phoenix with a Katrina in his mouth. But instead, all he's got is hate in his one eye because he only has one eye left.
Uh-huh.
And they're out of there, leaving Bale alone in the ring for Sexy Star to wheelbarrow roll up out of nowhere win at 7 minutes and 42 seconds.
Hell yeah. I had two other notes. There was a chair stomp, I thought, in this match, maybe?
I think there was. I think I might have moved. I think I ran past that. Yeah, sorry.
I only have one note on that. The kids in the crowd are fucking horrified when that happens. They scream in terror.
It looks brutal. Like it's like a great curb stomp with the chair. It looks terrible.
Sean.
James.
You glossed over Matt Stryker mentioning us because he says, and they call me misogynistic and sexist. We're the they.
I don't think it's just us.
We're the they.
James, I think there's a few of us out there who might be like, hey, why does wrestling suck so much? What the fuck?
Nicole, I forgot what she was talking about. We were talking about the Crystalia thing, and I think this is when she goes, oh, so this is why Sean hates stand-up comedy.
It fucking sucks. I hate this shit. It's a big part of it, actually. But post-match, Big Rick joins Sexy Star in the ring as the crew head to the hills, cursing Big Rick and their unfortunate circumstances. And we get, I love this call from Stryker. The crew had to hit the high road when they saw Big Rick. They'd rather take the loss than deal with an angry, one-eyed man. And Vampiro follows up, he is so huge. Oh my God, dude. I would not want to get punched by him.
Hideo Kojima's like, please punch me.
Absolutely, as we go off the air. This was an interesting episode.
I loved it.
I liked a lot of it. The matches weren't like that, like the Argennas match we watched last week, the Mundo match. Like, it wasn't like as like, oh my gosh, like amazing wrestling, but a lot of real fun story beats.
Oh yeah, I loved the Mil match. It was so good. Truly, guys, watch this. It's on Archive.
The Mil Chavo match is actually beautiful. Yeah, sorry.
And the matches are very short. You can like go to each one. Him just punching the chair out of his hands as it's being swung full force. Yeah, I know there's, some like, oh, it's like breakaway.
It's beautifully done. It's not breakaway.
No,
Chairs
I mean
are
like
not breakaway, but like
in the sense that Chavo would have broke away the grip of it and like would have just let it kind of like hit into it. That's the breakaway part. There was technique, so it didn't actually like, hey, I'm going to swing this as fast as I can and you're going to punch it as fast as I can. Because if they had done that, guess what? The tempo would have been no more Dragon Ball Z style. Would have just created a sonic boom smattering of a splash. Then our friend Mills back under rock. But guess what? He's got that strong cock and he'll break on through to the other side.
But guess what?
What's up?
Yeah, that was really cool. And also the technique, like, here's the thing, like, looks amazing. Like, the technique of Chavo, it's not just the technique of understanding how to, like, not get hurt on moves like that, but how to make it look marvelous. Yeah, I would say that Mil Chavo match probably is the standout. If you were only going to watch one match from this episode, like, that's awesome. And the Phoenix stuff afterwards is like some great ass storytelling. And just finding out that Black Lotus, I really thought Black Lotus, that was like her brother. I think we thought that might be her brother.
Or a father.
Like, some sort of like, I must save this man and bring him back to no, I'm here to murder the shit out of this dude. Now there's a bag on my head and I am confused.
Or some scientist professor that they have like some friendship bond relationship over, i.e. what happened in Tekken.
I know where you're going, and he can only fight by lying on the ground, and also he's somehow connected to the farting dinosaur. I forgot how, but somehow, I guess Dr. B is the creator of Gone. This episode had not a lot of great wrestling, but certainly some awesome wrestling. Also, the Angelico Ivelisse match was fun.
All of it was good, and you want to know what else is good?
But some great storytelling. What else is good?
Plugs.
I love them, and I love it when you go over to twitch.tv/GooseVK, or probably might be Goose Von Kaiser pretty soon. I might be switching it back. I don't know. Oh my God,
Sean.
Who fucking cares? No one's there anyway. You're so upset by this.
I change it in episode descriptions.
We'll leave it Goose VK for now, and then like when I actually change it up, it'll be Goose Von Kaiser.
All right.
And like, I love you. And I love you guys.
Hey guys, head over to, I love you too. Hey guys, head over to MLMpod.com to find out information about my other podcasts, such as Formulaic or Height of Horror. Go check those out, please, especially Height of Horror. Please do that. It's a very fun show that I do with Presley. It's very fun. It's fun. Also,
Is it fun?
Check
Are you
out.
having a good time?
Yes, I am.
Yay.
I just realized I said fun a lot, so then I just said fun. And speaking of fun, check out that band.
Yeah.
Check out my music under Marshland Monster. Got a new album coming out on February 10th, and I'm working on another one as well for a Horror Crunk Entertainment. Ooh! Yeah. Also, all of February on Mostly Speaking Sentai, we're going to have Horror Crunk individuals as guests, as long as they're not like, I'm canceling our scheduled record, and I'll say,
To the moon.
And then head over to patreon.com/MLM pod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. It's a podcast, baby. It's real good. This existed. Death from Above, a Sam and Max podcast, Engage with Nicolas Cage, and Mostly Speaking Sentai After Dark. And last week's episode of After Dark, truly, was very after dark. We got smutty, and by we, I mean me. And Nicole was like, I don't know what to say to any of this, James, but it's in a funny way. Check it out.
Yay.
I was like, but what was the bit that I did? And then it just came in my head. I was like, oh, yeah. Check that out. And also $10 patrons, if you're feeling so generous, get all of that content plus monthly content in the form of straight to Patreon. This month, I believe we're doing Shark Side of the Moon, the Tubi TV original. Ooh, baby, I'm so excited. Yeah, guys, check that movie out. And you got shout outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F.
They are so huge.
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour.
They are so huge.
Alex Z, the Waz.
They are so huge.
Orion, he's a rapper, Defo, D-F-O.
They are so huge.
Kayla, AK2 Grapes.
They are too huge.
Jordan B, the Chaos Witch.
They are so chaotic and huge.
My Bickle brother in common law, Joshua Jacus.
They are what is commonly known as huge.
Steve Barnes of Sweet Child of Time. We're back doing that, baby. We're doing rewatch of Wheel of Time.
Oh, and every time they do, they are so huge.
Ooh, my mother. Go check her out wherever she's working.
The womb from which James emerged is so huge.
Wow. I intentionally did not bring up the womb part.
I know, don't worry, I got you.
Little Corey's BFF and roommate Shane.
And unlike Little Corey, they are so huge.
And finally, new $10 patron, That Fed, who I believe will be the guest on this week's episode of Mostly Speaking Sentai.
Heck yeah, even though they are new, they are so huge.
I've been James.
I'm still Sean.
And this has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, yeah. 420 blaze it.
You were trying to pull a classic switcheroo with you and Nicole, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. Because I went to quickly hug and kiss her because I wasn't able to because she was doing laundry. But she, guess what? You two are pee friends.
Yeah!
Because she was peeing. Well, you were too.
Pee friends across the world unite. Pee together in unity. All right, let's get back into this episode.
All right.